I think most everything can be learned. And that's why attitude and aptitude are the things that I focus on the most, because the truth is you can't teach those things. There are skill sets that are transferable that I think a lot of times aren't recognized. Someone might have 10 different software packages, but they don't have this one particular software package that the company uses. I'm like, well, they've got 10 experiences of learning a new one and becoming, an expert within a few months. I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to pick up yours too. Or, hey, we want 15 years of experience. This guy only has 10 years. They're not quite as strong. They don't have the 15 years of experience, but sometimes you look at somebody with 15 years of experience on their resume, and truth is it's 1 year 15 times over again, and I don't think years of experience always is a great indicator of how qualified someone is. Look at somebody 5 years in their career, they've been promoted 4 times in 5 years. They probably have a higher level of skill set and understanding than someone's been doing it for 20 years that's been in the same role over and over again. It's funny too, because in my parents' generation, a lot of people would take a job and start counting down the clock to retire from there. And they're going to be there 30, 40, 50 years, whatever it is. And the truth is that's just not the case that often anymore. So whereas job hoppiness is usually seen as a negative, sometimes we get pushback too, where someone's been in the same place for too long. And so, diverse range of experience is really marketable. I hear frequently, well, they've been at XYZ company for 20 years. Yeah, they've taught them their own bad habits. I want to teach them my bad habits too, or make some joke like that. Where it's like, just because they've done it at one place doesn't mean that's necessarily transferable to the next. And so making yourself as broad scoped and marketable as possible, whether that's, hey, we work for, handful of years with a publicly traded company, and now we're working for a family-owned company, or now it's private equity owned, or this is a $100 million company that's been a $100 million company for 40 years and ain't broke, so they're not going to fix it. Versus they started off, it was a $5 million company, and 5 years later, it's a $200 million company. They've been through exponential growth, and so it's getting that wide variety is going to make you as marketable to the widest variety of options as possible.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Do you think, I talk all the time about fire as foundation and future, like where's your head, and are we hiring in a fire environment where I'm thinking like, I just got to plug this specific hole, and that's why you keep seeing people with, no, I need that specific software because I'm not going to have them that long. And so I'm thinking about it in a transactional mindset.
There's an element of that, I would say. I've never thought of it in that exact terminology, but yeah, I could see that. I hear all the time, well, this is how we've done it in the past. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And like, all right. In some instances that makes sense, but clearly not all. Even since I've been in the industry, how our business is done has changed tremendously. Like when I first got in the business, if I was texting with a client or a candidate, that was almost a fireable offense. That's back when you paid per text per month, and that was intrusive or invasive or whatever you're going to say. Now, half my communications via text, and so it's like you have to pivot with the times. You have to pivot the technology. What is normal? What's not? Just think of an interview. 99.9% of the time for the first several years of my career, if someone's going out for a first interview, a guy for this example, I'd say wear a suit and tie no matter what. Well, now if you show up in a suit and tie to a lot of companies, it's like, well, is this the IRS here? Or what's going on here?
Right, exactly. So I already did my accounting, right?
Yeah, learn the environment and be able to adapt to it.